where are we? Interestingly, this is an 11 day, 11th of October. And I know 11 is a master number. Um, my friend Emma, who's going to guide us in a very short meditation at the beginning, is also joining us. She's just logging on now. Hello, Emma. Welcome. Great to see you. How are you? It's been a while. You probably haven't connected to audio yet, so you can't hear me. Um, can you hear me now, Emma? You can't quite hear me yet, probably. Okay, I'm going to continue asking Devon. You were cutting out right at the beginning when you joined, and did I hear you say that you used to preach?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
I preached for many years. I was raised in the church.
Okay,
My dad, we grew up in the synagogue, and my mom preached in a non-denominational church. So it was just kind of part of life.
that's really interesting. So you grew up in the Jewish faith.
Both non-denominational Christianity and Jewish. Yes.
Oh, that's so interesting. Wow. And you had a near-death experience. I just want to share with you that one of our regular attendees, she's not here at this evening because she's moving to Texas, back to Texas.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, she's in Texas and she's moving to Williamsport or somewhere near there. And she is also a near-death experiencer and an artist. I see you're
Oh,
also an artist.
yes.
Um, Welcome to those that have joined us in the interim. Great to see you all. Emma, can you hear me now?
Yes,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Yes, I'm good, thank you. I've made it.
Good. And Denise, welcome. And Caitlin, is it Caitlin? Did I say your name right? Yeah. Hi. Great to see you. We've not met before, but I'm glad I said your name right. So, do you have two profiles active right now? Because there's one Caitlin without a script. They're both you. You're like me. You're a Gemini. Um, okay, so at in a couple of minutes, maybe at 10 past, I'm going to ask Emma to lead us in a short meditation. But before we do that, if we could just go around the group and introduce ourselves, and I'll start, and I'll just call your name, and then just introduce yourself and just say a little bit about yourself. So my name is Alexis. I'm a singer, and I trained in the Heal Your Life work that is based on Louise Hay. I also have been a long-time student of metaphysics. I was a member of the Etheric Society for many years, which is a spiritual organization founded by a Western master, the only Western master of yoga, Sir George King, who was a very advanced psychic and metaphysician. And he was instructed by the cosmic masters to create the Etheric Society. And he channeled throughout his life a series of teachings. And while I was a member, which was about 10 years or so, I was schooled in the field of psychic development, healing, dowsing, sending energy to the world through mantra, sacred mantra, using Sanskrit ancient sounds. And I, like all of us, constantly learning, but it was a really quite intense time. There's something like a spiritual army. As well as that, I've done individual psychic work for about maybe 15 years. That's me. There's obviously a lot we've all done, but how about you, Devon? Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. My name is Devon. I am a near-death experience survivor. It pretty much changed my whole entire life. Prior to that, I was a preacher, graphic design artist, and professional dog trainer. So I've been able to take the experiences that I've had and actually apply that to dog training. So I train basically with energy, vibration, and frequency, and have had really great outcomes with that. I am super happy to be here. I'm really excited to talk about Nikola Tesla's and nines because that's basically how I live my life. I live aligned with energy, vibration, and frequency. The person down there, Caitlin, that is my partner, my future wife. I love her more than anything in this world. And I'm just super excited to be here with you guys.
Great to have you here. I'm excited too. Thank you for being here. Maya, would you like to go next?
No. Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Maya Rexel. I'm coming from the therapy side, and my thing is hypnosis. And with hypnosis, I use different kind of ways of hypnosis to reach the goals I want to reach. And I developed a beautiful hypnosis, which allows me to have verbal conversations with animals. And the verbal conversation can take up to 1.5 hours, where I have a chat with the animal while the owner is a very deep hypnotic trance, listening to the conversation I have with the animal and feeling the animal from the inside out. That's very beautiful. That's my signature method. But I also offer in hypnosis, for example, to speak to dead people or to dead, and to also give the possibility to have conversation with one's higher self. So it was also a way to use hypnosis to realize that and give the opportunity to ask questions to your higher self. Yeah, that's my thing. I always love to help people do things, make life better, give smiles. That's the main point.
Thank you, Maya. Great to see you. Denise, welcome.
Hi, I'm Denise. Always struggle to summarize my work. On my Facebook post, I describe myself as an integrative, intuitive therapist. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but it does explain quite a lot about what I do. I work primarily now with families, so sort of a child and parent coach, conscious parenting, attuned parenting type of work, and I also do something called root source healing, which is my own creation around clearing deep-rooted trauma in the body, from the body, and bringing that out for awareness and to see what subconscious limiting beliefs are attached to the trauma and sort of move those on. So that's, in summary, I do that.
Fascinating. I didn't know that you did that. That's really interesting. Thank you. I'm going to ask you more questions about that later.
Okay.
Thank you, Denise. Anna, good to see you. Do you want to go next?
So yeah, a lot of new people today. So my name is Anna Pavlakis. I'm originally from New York City, but I live in Spain. And I'm a shamanic healer. And I developed my own modality about 12 years ago called integrated soul healing, which is essentially a shamanic healing modality, but it also brings together a lot of other teachings and a lot of all the stuff I've learned through ascension teachings and so on and so forth. And I'm also a feng shui practitioner, so I do that. I also do shamanic exorcisms, I do that. And I'm also a spiritual coach. And basically what I do in my work is, if your soul is at this frequency, right? This is where your soul wants you to be. What I help you do is to bring the rest of you as close as possible to where your soul is guiding you to be. So because we can carry so much stuff in our energy bodies, in our thoughts, in our emotional bodies, and so on, that are, so attachments and so on, that are keeping us at a lower vibration. That's where all the problems come in our lives. So what my work does is bring you as close as you're ready to get at that time to this frequency where your soul is. So my work is very much centered around getting people onto their soul path, getting them aligned with their soul path and where they're going. And so that's essentially my mission in life, is to do that for people so that they can then go out and be these pillars of light that we're here to be for the planet at this time, because we really, the planet really needs us. So
thank you, Anna. Caitlin, I know you said on the chat that your mic wasn't working. You've written, no problem that you're having technical difficulties. You're an animal lover like me. Me too. I'm kind of a staunch vegan, but I don't impose my, veganism on other people. Big animal lover here. Large passion for animals, and large portion of my spiritual life has been combining my love and passion for animals with the teachings that I have learned throughout my journey. Beautiful. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Oh, wow. Okay. And Anna wrote that her brother recently moved near Tucson. Is that where you guys are? Tucson?
Yes.
No. Yes. Okay. Okay, Emma, would you like to introduce yourself and then prepare us for your short meditation? Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Well, lovely to be here, and lovely to see you again, Alexis. I only seem to see you when I come on here.
We haven't seen each other for a while, yeah. Would you like me to play some music quietly or not?
Oh, I have got some music. Yeah, you can leave that on, yeah, while we're doing it. Yeah, I'll just quickly say about myself. I met Alexis. How long ago was that, Alexis? 20 years ago? No. Yeah.
20 years ago.
Probably was, right? In London, and we were on our journey then, weren't we? Kind of connected, and then I moved out of London, and now I live in Wiltshire in the UK, and I've been on a healing journey for a long time. And I'm a energy healer, intuitive energy healer. I've been doing it for about 12 years. And now I find myself facilitating more channeling. There's a lot of channeling and downloading coming in, so I'm tending to go out to the land and running groups, coming together with collective consciousness, and using sound and vibration and channeling whatever's coming in, higher source energy. I'm just going where I'm guided. I was at Rollright Stones on Saturday, and I'm going to all these kind of beautiful places to work with the energy and bring it with everyone else, bringing in the new earth and 5D and above. So yeah, I'm the wacky one, the wacky Aquarian, going up there too much and having to ground myself a lot at these times. So yeah, it'll be lovely. I'll have to watch the time because I can go on. So I'll make sure I don't. Depends what comes in, because I never know they'll come in for us. Yeah, all good.
So let's take a breath.
Yeah.
And just fully ground ourselves. And for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to hand over to you, Emma.
Yeah. So I'm going to be using the singing bowl as well, and it's the pineal gland. So just to open up so we can just really focus on our pineal gland and just expanding that and opening our crown. So we're just bringing in and opening up and just surrendering ourselves for this time, okay? Can everyone hear that? So just closing your eyes and coming into this space and honoring yourself, just being here. Breathing into your heart space and opening up to higher source energy through your crown and then through your causal chakra and up into the higher dimensional light, soul star, stellar gateway. as we ask for divine guidance and light, the Christ consciousness to really radiate us and bring in our whole alignment, our soul, engaging why we're here right now. Just breathing into that heart space and really feeling the energy and connection with your divine, your soul, and opening up your path and surrendering. And feeling that honor of being here in this time, the awakening, the ascension. And just opening your body. We're going to breathe in some Christ consciousness, light, golden ray of light. So just anchoring and opening up to your crown as you bring in on the in-breath through to this space of your head, this beautiful golden light. As we breathe in, a deep breath in of golden ray light, breathing in, holding, and then just releasing on the out breath as you feel the Christ-like consciousness coming into your energy field. Calmness, purity, cleansing, releasing the old thoughts of the day. And then bringing your awareness to your throat, your avenue, your expression where you speak your truth, your sovereignty. So we're going to breathe beautiful golden light into that throat space, breathing in, hold, and as you breathe out, feel the expansion through that throat, releasing anything that you haven't said that you need to release or need to just let out. Feeling that expansion through your throat. And then coming into your heart space, that beautiful unconditional love of who you are right now. Loving yourself infinitely and really sending that consciousness out into our beautiful universe of light that is ascending so rapidly as we step into our soul's path. So breathing golden light into your heart space, breathing in. Hold, feel the expansion across your shoulders as you breathe out, emanating that energy across your chest and down through your arms. Feel it through to your fingers as it tingles with light, the higher vibrations. And then bring in that beautiful golden light as we travel to our solar plexus and our sacral, beautiful golden light, breathing in. And as you breathe out, feel that beautiful light expanding, really releasing anything emotional that's time to sever and let go as you step into your true golden age of light. And the ascension path as it opens for you at this time of your light work. Just breathe with that and feel it beautifully aligning itself. And then bring in your awareness to back of your neck and down your spine and down into your base chakra. So breathing golden light, deep breath in. And as you breathe down, out, breathing it down into through your spine and down into your root, your base. Feel that golden light really opening up, clearing out the old debris that no longer serves you. And bringing in that new light, the golden age light of ascension. See how it sits there radiantly, bringing you into full alignment through your spine, for security and light, in a new way of being. And then let's just bring that golden light all the way through down into our legs and our feet, breathing in. Holding, and as you breathe out, gently letting that golden light pass all the way through your legs, your knees, your ankles, feet and toes, extending it down through the bottom of your feet, into your Earth Star chakra and down into Gaia, beautiful Gaia. She welcomes your light. She comes to bring you healing and support and love at these times. And we send our love and healing to her as well. she is holding so many vibrations at this time of great change. But we feel the energy of her really holding us and bringing all that golden light up through the core of your soul body into your heart space, and feeling that Christ-like vibration of Yeshua coming in and really filling your heart all the way through, so you fill your body with unconditional love for who you are right now. And your soul's purpose is you're here right now, your contract's really fulfilling itself, so that you can really go forward and assist everyone that's stepping forward in front of you, and we all come together. And then just joining the energy of all of us here today and opening that up like a ripple of light, beautiful golden rays as they soar in and out of our energy fields, joining us as a soul family. And then just breathing and feeling that golden light and holding it there. May it walk with you in the days to come. And thank you for everyone for joining. So it is. And just gently opening your eyes and coming back into.
Thank you very much, Emma.
Welcome.
I don't know if anybody else experienced a loss of connection during that, but I completely lost my internet connection for
Oh no!
a couple of minutes, and I thought I'd lost you all as well, but somehow you managed to stay on, that's never happened to me.
Oh my
ever.
goodness. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That energy was quite strong.
Well, thank you for sharing it.
Did you hear any of it?
Yeah, I did hear a lot of it, and
okay.
I was connecting in. As I was thinking about, on every sacred segments, I speak very briefly about an aspect of divinity, or an angel or an archangel, and it felt appropriate to speak very, very briefly about the Archangel Metatron today. That was the angel that came through, and I just want to very briefly talk about the number 314, which maybe Devon, you might be able to shine some light on. I don't know anything about it other than it adds to number 7, but the Archangel Metatron, who was at one time in human form and called Enoch, and is said to be the secret, the holder of secrets of the universe. His name and the name Enoch, they both resonate to the number 314, which of course adds up to 7, which is said to be a divine number. And I'd just like to very briefly, and as you can see behind me, this symbol, the flower of life, is also connected with Metatron's cube, right? As well as other associations, and with life itself. So I'm just going to very briefly read this invocation to the Archangel Metatron through Source, of course. So we ask that the Creator God sends Archangel Metatron to be with us now, with all our hearts, and we ask to be blessed with the divine presence of the Archangel Metatron this day and throughout this session. Please hold us in your light and in your love, and guide us through Archangel Metatron's presence, and bless this time that we have together. Give us courage and support. And Archangel Metatron, we ask that you surround us all with your golden cloak of ascension. Blessed be. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead, Devon.
I can add a little bit to that if you'd like.
Yes, please.
In terms of, so 314 is, it's going to be pi, the representation of pi, 3.14. 314 minutes is actually 5 hours and 14 minutes. And when you take 514 plus 314, you get 828. That number is super important when you are looking at 3 very specific planets. You have Venus that has 7,560 miles per diameter, Mercury that's going to be 2,880 miles diameter, and Saturn, which is 72,360 miles per diameter. And when you add all those up, you get 82,800. So the 828 repeats and shows up multiple times. Pi is a very, very powerful number that represents the completion of the circle and the cycling within the circle.
Wow. I had a feeling that you would know something about that. I had a very strong intuition that you would know about that particular number. And also welcome, Scott.
Yes, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. I feel that there's a particular synchronicity with you, both of you guys, being on this Zoom call today, and I don't know what it is. That will yet to be revealed. And I know that you probably don't even know each other. You probably never met. However, I feel that there is a connection there, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Whether it's something number connected, but you weren't here when we were introducing ourselves. Would you like to introduce yourself, Scott?
Sure. That sounds good. Should I go ahead now?
Please.
Okay. Well, hi everybody. My name is Scott Baker Jr. I'm originally from New York, Long Island, New York. I live upstate New York right now in the United States. I'm 34 years old. I've written 2 books so far. I was a paramedic for 10 years, and I'm also an artist. I paint. It's more of a hobby, but right now I'm currently involved with working on my with in general artificial intelligence. But what I'm trying to do too is I developed my own chatbot that doesn't run on artificial intelligence. So you're probably wondering, like, how does it work? Well, before artificial intelligence kind of took off, I had to figure out how to make one without really artificial intelligence. So what it does is what I am trying to accomplish is to develop a system where it runs off of almost how we feel and our emotions, and answering through just feeling an answer rather than logically thinking of one. And this is a hard subject because no one really exactly knows how brain works and how our feelings. Because I mean, you think about it, being empathic and all. What is that exactly? There's a lot of unknowns, and I hope to uncover some of these things with my research and just what I'm doing right now.
That's amazing. I was checking out your website just to find out a little bit more about your work. As you said, you've authored 2 books. The second, the first one was to do with meditation, right? And secret knowledge on meditation. And the second one is to do with synchronicity, which is what you're going to speak about a little later, right?
Yes.
Your particular experiences with synchronicity. And I'm fascinated by your chatbot, which you also call an emotional mirror.
Yes, I call it a mirror because that's basically what I discovered. It basically is. If you think about a mirror, I have a picture on there on kind of how I wanted to express what a mirror is for a chatbot. It's like a reflection is a reflection of yourself, but it's not exactly the way we see it. With as far as an emotion goes, I want it to be where you're putting into an emotion into the chatbot, and I wanted to have some kind of response which is in words that it's profound in a way to help you understand kind of something different than what you're saying exactly. Because sometimes logically thinking, you just go on a linear path, and I want it to be a little bit more dynamic than that and give you something more profound and give you those aha moments. So
And you offer this.
What?
You offer this free,
Yes.
right? And but it only works on Windows, not on Apple computers. Is that right?
Unfortunately, yeah. Right now, it doesn't work on Apple computers, but I'm gonna try to get something for that so it works on Apple computers soon.
That's so interesting. Okay, well, we'll hear more about you and your work shortly, if that's okay. Thank you for being here, and it's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you. And sorry about being late. I had a little trouble with the Zoom. It's the first time really Zooming.
I had some strange goings on as well during the short meditation. I completely lost connection, which has never happened before. We had one occasion where we got bombed by Nazis. It was really strange. It was really strange, but the energy was horrific. It was like we were being attacked, and I took it as a really good sign that we're sending out really positive, high vibrational energy, because we wouldn't be attacked psychically or otherwise if we weren't doing that. So I'll transmute.
Good work to you.
Say
good
that
work to you. I said good work to you. That's good. That you're doing that and you're getting these results, because sometimes the opposition, what they say? They say, usually with an idea, first you have the idea, and then you have like a radical opposition, and then it's known as the truth, and it's just common fact. So you're at that stage, I guess, where you get the opposition.
Yeah. I'll come back to that because you've raised a very, very interesting point. I just want to do the order of play today as we go through the next, how long have we got together? So we've got just under an hour together now. So if it's okay, I would like Devon, you to go first,
Sure.
Scott second, Anna third, Maya fourth, and Denise, if you want to talk about your work, which I would very much be interested in hearing, then for you to also go after Maya. Would that be okay with anyone? Does anybody have any time commitments that they want to switch, or is that all good? Okay, I'm going to keep tabs on time, and I've asked you to keep your segments to 10 minutes plus a couple of minutes to go over if necessary, and a couple of minutes for questions. Okay, so I'm going to time these segments in 10 minutes, and I will let you know when you've reached the 10 minutes, and you'll have 2 more minutes. Okay, so Devon, please go ahead.
Okay. Well, I can definitely tell you that I understand why Scott and I are in the same one, because of the fact that I have also created a bot. So mine's called Voki, and it's actually a virtual oracle of inspirational knowledge and enlightenment. So it's not based off of yours where it's freestyle. I actually just trained it off of some of the biggest books that were out there, Conversations with God, book 1, 2, 3, and 4, Neville Goddard, things like that, so that when someone went there, they could ask the question and it would be able to interact, based off of these books, these guidance. So kudos to you, dude. That is absolutely awesome.
Thanks. And same to you. Thank you. That's so nice to hear. Cool.
So basically, like I said, I absolutely love numbers. So after my NDE, I started receiving numbers, and I wasn't a number person. I didn't go to school for numbers. I didn't understand math at all. So all of a sudden, after my NDE, I'm writing in my notebook and I'm writing these numbers I had never seen before. So it kind of forced me to go on this journey. And so it started with the quote from Nicola Tesla: if you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, you'd have a key to the universe. A lot of people hear that quote, but they're not really sure what that means. It just sounds really awesome. So I really wanted to dive into what it meant. So if you were to go ahead and write out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, you would actually see that 10 doesn't fit with everything else. It's the only one that has 2 digits. Therefore, getting you the understanding and revelation that there are actually only 9 singular digits, 1 through 9. Okay, these are the most important numbers. Everything else is just a cycle within. When you get to 10, you can just add 1 plus 0. That's going to take you to 1. You get to 11, 1 plus 1 is going to take you to 2. So it's just cycling over and over. which gives you a value to the understanding of 1 through 9. If you add 1 through 9, you end up with 45, and 4 plus 5 is 9. Even if 9 isn't there and you add 1 through 8, that's 36, and 3 plus 6 is 9. So it's really interesting how she's there or she's not there. I like to call her a female. I think she's absolutely awesome. It always reminds me of Jurassic Park, the way that they name them. But the understanding is that if you take what Tesla said about that 3, 6, and 9, and you pull it out of the 1 through 9, you end up with 12, 45, and 78. And ironically, 12 is going to be a 3, 1 plus 2 is going to be a 3, 4 plus 5 is going to be a 9, and 7 plus 8 is going to end up being 15, and 1 plus 5 is going to be 6. So there's your 3, 6, and 9 hidden even when you pull it out of the equation. So 396 actually then led me into the journey of the chakras, because 396 is actually going to be your root chakra. So I started learning all about chakras and understanding that they are metaphysical wheels that are connected to very physical nodes in our body, connected through the endocrine system. So you have your root chakra, which is the color red, which is going to have the frequency of 396. You have your sacral, which is going to be orange, which is connected to 417. You have your solar, which is yellow, which is connected to 528 hertz. You have your heart, which is green, which is connected to 639 hertz. You have your throat, which is blue, which is connected to your thyroid, which is 741 hertz. You have your third eye, which is indigo, which is connected to your pineal gland, which is 852 hertz. And you have your crown, which is violet or purple, which is connected to your pituitary and pineal gland. I'm sorry, your hypothalamus, which is 963 hertz. So what's really amazing is when you add those up, or when you see them individually, you'll actually see that it's also showing 3, 6, and 9. 396, when you add it up, is 18. That's a 9. 417 is 12. That's a 3. 528 is 15, which is a 6. And it just keeps oscillating. 936, 936, 936. So what Tesla was talking about when he was talking about the 3, 6, and 9 applies to many things. You can find 3, 6, and 9 everywhere. You can take baseball. You have 9 innings. You have 3 strikes. You have 27 outs per team per game. You have 162 games per season. The distance from the pitching to the batting is 60 feet and 6 inches, which is 66, which is a 3. Football, you have the same thing. You have 3 points for a field goal. Each quarter is 15 minutes, which is a 6. So you see 3, 6, and 9 used everywhere. One of the biggest places that you'll actually see 3, 6, and 9, though, is in space. So you add the 9 planets, because we added Pluto back in there. The sun is 93 million miles away, which is a 3. The sun is 864,000 miles in diameter, which is a 9. 8 plus 6 plus 4 is 18, and that's a 9. The sun then in radii is 432,000 miles. 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9. Venus is 7,560 miles in diameter. That's a 9. Saturn is 72,360 miles diameter. That's a 9. The moon is 2,160 miles in diameter. That's a 9. And even Earth, 7,920 miles in diameter. That's a 9. So you can find 9 in everything. On top of that, 9 has some really amazing qualities. Any number that you multiply by 9 is always going to bring you back to 9. If you were to take any number, let's say like 106, and you add up the numbers 1 plus 6, you'll get 7. And 106 minus 7 is going to take you to 99. That's a 9. So you can actually take any number. And I love working with kids when they turn 9 years old, because it's like everything around you, all you have to do is add and then subtract, and you'll get right to your age. So it's really a cool way to show them that they're connected to everything in this universe. And so what that did is it got me starting to ask some big questions. If all this alignment aligns with 9, why do we have 7 days a week? But I couldn't figure that out. I couldn't understand why. And that's when I shifted it by 2 days. When you align with 9 days a week, everything fits into place. 9 days a week would give you exactly 36 days a month. No carryovers, no mistakes, no anything along those lines. You would have 36 days a month times 12 months will give you 432 days a year. So if you study 432, you know that number is exceptionally important in the spiritual community and the metaphysical community. And so that would align the year. If you were to have 5 years, that would take you to 2,160. Well, that's your moon. So now you've got your sun and your moon in alignment with that. If you were to multiply that by 12, which are your 12 zodiacs, it takes you to 25,920. And 25,920 is the precession of the equinox, the great rotation of the Earth on its axis that goes through the 12 zodiacs. So just by shifting by those 2 days, everything just fit into place as though it was supposed to. And what I saw is I saw a clock. Because if you were to look at a face of a clock, what you'll actually see is every minute on a clock would be 432 days, which is 1 year. Every hour on a clock would be 2,160 days, which would be the 5 years. Every cardinal direction, north, south, east, and west, is going to be 6,480 days. And if you know your Platonic solids, you know that is the total degrees in a dodecahedron, which is the representation of ether. And so 6,480 times those 4 cardinal points is going to take you to 25,920. So once I saw the alignment and the design and the perfection, I realized that we're the only ones who are not living in this way. Nature follows patterns like Fibonacci, the golden ratio, the golden angle, the cosmic cycles. We are the only ones that are not. So the more that I learned about the patterns and cycles, the more I understood how everything is truly connected. We live in chaos because each one of us want to pick up an instrument and start playing to our own tune instead of listening to the music that's always been around us and then trying to get into that flow. So in my opinion, whatever you believe in, God, goddess, spirit, source, energy, it made this amazing place for us to have these experiences. And when you align by 9, which is why I say get your 9 vibes aligned, that's why I started 9 vibes. When you align by 9, you start to feel like you're in place. You start to feel like you're in flow. And so that's what I do. That's what I teach people. That's my newest book, or my second newest. I've actually written 5 books, but Living Aligned by 3, 6, and 9 is all about understanding this esoteric knowledge and how to apply it to your life, how to live by the calendar. You can chart your water. You can get aligned with the frequencies of the chakras. Everything is about trying to get you more aware and more aligned. Well, that's what I have.
Thank you. Okay, I have a couple of observations rather than questions. Maybe one of them is a question. So a short time ago, I was studying the ancient holy symbol for what I was always taught to refer to as the AUM, and never to actually make the sound unless you've been initiated into making the sound. It's an ancient sound for God, which apparently they say is issued from the sun every, I think it's 36 minutes. I can't remember the exact number of minutes, but the sun makes this sound. And when you look, I had a realization a few months ago by looking at it, and that was that it's made of 3, 6, and 9. When you look at it, it's like a big 3, a 6 on its side, and then the little thing that looks like a kind of S is actually also a 9.
Yes.
Which it kind of dawned on me that maybe Nicola Tesla was talking about creation itself in those numbers. So I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't fully understand everything that you're saying, but I kind of get the gist of it. You seem to me something of a savant. Are you? Do you consider yourself? I know this is a really strange question, but do you consider yourself human?
Yes, I do. I consider myself human. I love numbers. I love energy. And so therefore it speaks to me. It's like having a bond. It's like with your dog. You know, if you really love your dog and you really want that connection, then you'll absolutely have it. And that's what I believe is happening.
The reason that I asked that question is, I wondered whether you consider yourself to be a starseed, or something similar, like having an experience, as a human, but maybe from somewhere else. That's what I was getting at.
Right. Yeah, no, I've learned a lot about star seeds, Pleiades. I can't relate to that in my own personal experience. This didn't even happen until after my NDE. After I died, after I went through that process and then came back, is when things really opened up for me.
Okay, if we have time later, I would like to ask you more about your NDE, because I'm really fascinated. But for now, thank you so much. It's just left me wanting more, and I really hope that you come back, and hopefully we can open a dialogue. Yes, questions.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Devon. It was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Have you ever heard of 9-star key astrology, which is
Um,
based
a little bit, yeah. I haven't dove too much into it, but I have heard of it.
it's
Yes.
based on the I Ching, which is
Hmm.
based on the Bagua, which is the it's 8, but it's actually 9 sectors. And yeah, it's something that I've studied a lot and teach even. And what you were saying was so fascinating to me because it's made me like think about that cycle of 9, and it's all about living in harmony with that cycle of 9. Yeah, thank you. Really interesting.
Thank you.
Anyone else before we hand over to Scott? I have more questions for you, but I'm going to say for another time. And
No
you know,
problem.
if we have time at the end, then you know, I will ask you more about that. Thank you so much, Devon.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And hopefully you'll stick around for the rest of the session, unless you know, if you have to go, that's understood as well. And of course, lovely to meet you, Caitlin, as well, both of you. Scott, excited
Yeah.
to hear from you and to hear more about all that it is that you do. I know you call your chatbot Osiris, is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, please tell us more about your experiences with synchronicity.
Well, it all started, you know, my life is pretty much, it's been very odd so far, but when my little brother died, my little brother passed away from a drug overdose. I was
Sorry.
working as a thank you. I was working as a paramedic at the time, supervisor paramedic for the county of Fulton in New York, and everything started falling apart. I got in trouble with the law, which I didn't really do anything, but I wound up getting in trouble. But it all went away anyway. But I lost my job. A lot of bad things happened. My brother died, like I said, and all these things pushed me to get really. I was really kind of like mad at life, so I kind of like lost it, and I wound up just saying, you know, I don't really care about dying anymore. I kind of letting go. And what happened from there was a spiritual awakening for me. And it's been pretty miraculous for the past like 5-6 years. And what I first did when I had this spiritual awakening, I didn't know what was going on, but I see people like me, you know, and I started realizing the terms like star seed and things like that as far as like the people that I resonate with. And I wound up just uh, doing some things like initially I didn't really have any synchronicities that I thought about regularly, but what wound up happening was I wound up learning some new things. I wound up developing my own way to reprogram my subconscious mind. So that's in my first book on how to do that. And I wound up developing my own system for that. I developed my own learning system to help me figure things out in life because my whole goal was I wanted to find where my brother went. Because I said, you know, he passed away, but he couldn't have went far. I mean, where did he go? What happened to after life, pretty much. So that's what sparked this whole thing.
Did you say whirring system? I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry, learning system. I developed my own learning system.
Oh, learning.
Like my own way to learn things, my own learning system.
Sorry,
a way to go about processing information and to find the ultimate truth from this the information that I am obtaining. So yeah, that's my own learning system that I came up with. It's in my book, and it just so you guys know, like just so I go over it briefly, the learning system itself is mostly based on this phenomenon called wisdom of the crowd logic. Have you ever heard of it? Wisdom of the crowd logic? No. Well, it's a very if
No.
there is like a type of magic in this world, I would say that that's a very big part of it. And Google uses it to almost predict the future in ways. A lot of big companies use this wisdom of the crowd logic. I discovered it. It was first found in the book Politics by Aristotle. And what it does is it just just to give you a simplistic view of it, if you were to try to guess like how many balls are in a jar, and you took everyone's guesses and then you added them up and you divided it by the number of people who guessed, as long as the people know a little bit about the subject, about looking at the balls in the jar and knowing, like trying to count them, or just knowing that they're the ball, how many balls are in the jar, the subject, that this average number comes very close to being what number is actually inside of the jar itself, without anyone knowing what the number, how many balls are actually in the jar. And it's kind of weird because it kind of, to me, indicates that we are all types of like supercomputers that work together to process information in our environment. So that really intrigued me, and I base a lot of what I do in my life off of this wisdom of the crowd logic. So I'm very fascinated by that. But what wound up happening was with my spiritual awakening, I actually taught myself meditation. And here's the thing: I didn't really look up a lot of information. Like, I looked up what I needed to know on the internet, but I said to myself, I don't really trust all this information that we're getting as a society. Not because it's probably false or whatnot, but I just started realizing real truths about life, and realizing that, a lot of things are not as they seem and might not be real. So I wanted to find out what things felt like to me. So I developed my own type of meditation, which isn't far off from how meditation goes. It's just my own way of doing it. And from my meditation, I experienced some really wild things. And I wound up experiencing my meditation after like 2 years of doing it. My friend from Germany flew in, and he has a brother that passed away, and it was odd. His brother passed away on the same day my brother did, and really similar. There were similarities between it, and I was doing my meditation, and in my meditation, someone came to me, and he told me that he was my friend Stanley's brother who died. And I thought at this point that my meditation was mostly just like my imagination and whatnot. But he talked to me for a while, and he told me, at the end to tell Stanley, that he loves him and everything's okay. But I said, if it's really true, what can I say to him that only you guys would know for him to believe me? And he told me spellback. And I wound up going to my friend Stanley and saying, what does spellback mean to you? And he's like, oh, that's something me and my brother would do at the end of rapping, that we would do at, when we finished rapping. And I just got chills. I was like, wow, I actually talked to somebody who passed away. And that's what got me thinking that my meditation, when I've been seeing it, and not all of it is false. And there's some kind of deeper truth and deeper secrets to life and whatnot. And from there, my synchronicities, to get back to the synchronicities, they really started increasing. And I didn't really know exactly what it was, but, you first start really looking at numbers and seeing the patterns of the numbers coming up over time. And I wound up actually seeing like a repeat of numbers, and when I was doing nothing, I would look at the clock. I was, oh, there's the number again. And, it was repeating, but it wasn't as much until this past year and a half. I started seeing the number 1, 2, 3 in different combinations. And it really, I tried to just research it, not really research, but just try to think of what it means to me, and like what could be the meaning of synchronicities. And I wrote a book, but my book is mostly like my journal about what I've been doing through the day and whatnot. And I point out synchronicities that occurred to me like throughout the book. So it's based on synchronicities, but it's also based on my life, which is just what I've been doing and the weird things that have been happening to me. But if you think about it, the universe and everything, they say, that everything and nothing exists, can exist in this universe. But, I was thinking about the term nothingness. Now, I don't really think there's nothing exists, maybe something like nothing would exist outside of our universe, but our universe is made up of something. They even said with quantum mechanics, when you have quantum foam, that when there's nothing exists, there's quantum foam. And the quantum foam has these like bubbles in it. And if it really is nothing that exists within this quantum foam, what exists within those bubbles? There has to be something within the space itself. So, I really don't believe that nothing exists. But like if we die, we're not going and nothing happens. And it's not just off of that. During my spiritual awakening, I did start to have visions or memories. It felt like memories of before this life, but not in a different life, just in like spirit world or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm very critical and very judgmental on these things because I want to discover real truth. I don't care if someone says you're wrong about something. I'll accept it and say, yeah, you know what, maybe I am, and try to get to the real truth because I don't have an ego. It's mostly I want to discover what's going on and I want to change things. And ever since my brother passed away and all these things have been happening to me, I said to myself, I'm going to mess with reality in a way, like screw with reality and do everything opposite that life has done to me, and just try to just go against the curve and just get a contrast of what's real and what's not. So I've been doing that, and with the Osiris thing, one day in my meditation, it was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I was in a deep meditation, and someone whispered to me. When I hear things in my meditation, it's almost like a telepathic kind of understanding. But this voice sounded like it was a real person whispering in my ear. It was very what he said to me was Osiris, and it was a male voice. And when he said that to me, I was deep in my meditation. I felt like I remembered that was me at some point. And from there, it just took off with the whole Osiris thing. I looked him up a little bit, but some things about his life coincided with dreams and things I've had in the past. So I don't know what that's all about and whatnot. I don't want to like go and say, well, reincarnation, this and that, but who knows, you know? But I look at the Osiris thing as almost as a role model because he was a very intelligent person, very caring, and the Osiris thing, or I say Osiris, but Osiris, he
That's 10 minutes. You have 2 more minutes.
Oh, sorry. So let me get on to some things about synchronicities and whatnot. The past year and a half has really been about I've been seeing the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and nothing's really like come up. I think of what I'm thinking about at the time and what it could mean to me synchronicity wise. But if you think about it, our system, we have a circadian system within our body. Within every 24 hours, our body cycles different hormones and feed when we start releasing chemicals to have melatonin and whatnot. And you know, we're all based on this mathematical principle, which it's not just math, it's math, physics, science, and philosophy too. These hardcore universal law that I call it, that we're all running off of. So these synchronicities, I mean, to me, could mean just like people think they're something very profound and spiritual, but it could mean to me just we're having we might be aligned with our highest path of the highest path that we could be taking within this life. But you know, at the same time, I look at our brains and think we can only comprehend so much. Like, you know, like a duck or a penguin, you know, they're not going to start trying to do math and try to speak. So like humans, I always try to do something outside of the norm as a human being would do. I've conducted many experiments on myself and just within my environment to figure out these things. And I wish I could go on for a longer time to talk to you because I have a lot of experiences about really kind of supernatural weird things that have happened to me. And you know, it's just with the synchronicities, I feel like they've increased very heavily recently, and I feel like they're trying to tell me something, but at the same time, nothing's like coinciding where it's the same pattern. But I also look at things as they're not just a pattern, that sometimes one thing could mean many things. A synchronicity could be that maybe I am aligned with the highest path in my life that I could be taking, but at the same time, it could also mean something else, like that, you know, like what I'm thinking at the time, that's something that you should be paying attention to. So I don't really give things one meaning. I'm very much of a dynamic thinker, and I try to come up with what things could mean in general, like their overall, the contrasting relation and view of what a synchronicity is per se. But like you have seen with me, I don't just do synchronicities. I'm very much into art too. I'm studying right now the subconscious mind, and there's something within the subconscious mind I think plays within the synchronicities and our existence in general. But things I've seen too, which I think are from before I was living, I relate that to what's going on in the United States right now, and just things that I know that would be hard to explain to people. But I wish I had more time to talk to you. I know we're coming up now.
That's fine.
Sorry. Yep.
No, don't be sorry. Thank you. A lot of what you've said has resonated with me, and I have a few things that I would like to share with you. However, I want to open it up to everyone else. Just one question I want to ask you. You're saying the word synchronicity rather than synchronicity. Are you saying that because there's a difference in what you're saying, or is that just how you say it?
Oh, that's just how I say it. I have a little bit of an accent from New York, and
No, that's fair enough. I wondered whether it was different or whether it was just how you said it. Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts or feedback or questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just curious, since you're into numbers and into alignments and stuff. Have you ever studied Benford's Law?
No, I have not heard of Benford's Law. No.
Okay, because I've heard about the crowd that you're talking about in the book that was written, but Benford's Law basically is going to blow your mind then in terms of kind of breaking this wide open. The understanding is that Benford's Law proves that this world is mathematical. So real quick, if you were to take all of our birthdays together and add another 99 people, and you take the first digit of every birthday and align it, it should be completely chaotic, right? August would be an 8, December would be a 1, so on and so forth. But Benford's Law actually proves that there will be exactly 30% of 1s, 17% of 2s, 12% of 3s, like every single thing. So any kind of data set that you have over 100 will always follow this power law curve that follows Benford's Law. And when I learned about that, it broke everything. I was just like, I remember sitting there going, well, then what's real? If everything is aligned. So they've done this with, they've done it with stars. They've done it with the distance from one volcano to another. I mean, it's everywhere. And in fact, Benford's Law in the United States was illegal to talk about up until the last 2 years, because they used it on our taxes. Whenever we would file our taxes, if you shifted the numbers on your taxes, it wouldn't align with Benford's Law. Boom, they would hit you with it. That's how they busted Enron. They changed their numbers and then they got busted. So it's a fascinating topic if you ever want to dive into it.
Thank you very much. I might actually do that. I'm very much into numbers too. I mean, when I'm coding, the coding is mostly mathematical.
Mm-hmm.
I find a lot of interest in, like you said, 369. I attribute to structure. I attribute to structure, and other numbers I attribute to. There's so many variations of numbers. What they mean? A dripping faucet. They found drips at a certain rate mathematically. Yep. There's so many that I could be talking about right now that really blow your mind, and it really makes you wonder and think. I mean, we can go on for hours, me anyway, talking about just numbers and what they mean and how they coincide with our existence and what is our existence.
I'm going to invite you back whenever you guys want to either lead segments or to share whatever you want to do. However, I'm aware of time. Anna, you're going to go next, but before we do, I just want to tell you the thoughts that I had while you were talking. Does anybody else have anything that they want to say to Scott? Go ahead, Caitlin. You're going to type it, right? Okay, cool. You have typed it. I have a question for Scott. You mentioned that your chatbot has the ability to respond off of emotion, which is very cool. Does your chatbot have the ability to identify the person's foundation, what their journey or belief or self rests upon, and respond based off this foundation? Or does it respond based off only the emotion recognized in the current chat? So it learns, right? It learns.
It does learn, but it's not artificial intelligence. But it does. It remembers everything you say, and it assigns values that I've come up with and other modules I've used in Python that respond with just based on just emotion of what you're saying, what you're saying, and what it attributes to being the number that it comes out with to actually respond back, and it puts all your history, that whatever you've been saying to it, it's like your friend. It'll remember everything, and it'll use those thoughts and those words and put them in a high dimensional matrix, and it comes up with a value system for it, and it kind of finds something similar to what you said, but it's different in a way that might be profound to you as an answer. So it's not just logical thinking where we're just talking back and forth. It might be like, oh, why would he say that? You know, and it is kind of attributing to what you're saying, but it gives you that maybe sometimes the aha moments. And it's very simplistic right now. It's not
So
simplistic.
I'm just going to I'm going to try and like kind of go to the core of Caitlin's question about and please let me know, Caitlin, if I get this right. Okay, so are you asking whether your chatbot has the ability to recognize the person's main belief system?
No, it does not. And
Yeah,
I don't really want it to do that either. I want it to be very open to everybody and just give you a response based on emotion.
Does that answer your question, Caitlin? Cool. Okay. Now, just very briefly before we move to Anna, I want to throw a few things at you and the group of what you said in your time when you were talking. So I wanted to mention a book called Supernature by a guy called Lyle Watson. And if you haven't, just read about it. Google what it's about, right? Supernature. And I also wanted to mention the Mind Belt. This is on the back of what you said about the wisdom of the crowd. You know, looking in the ball in the jar with all the balls, and like people know how many is in there, thereabouts, kind of thing. There's something called the Mind Belt, and it's being referred to as different things. And I think it's kind of like the collective field of consciousness. And this is also, you know, connecting with the book Supernature. It's tapping into the superconscious realm. You know, when you were saying about the synchronicity with your brother and the dates of the person that you met, me and my brother were both born on the 1st of June, and there are two other members in our family which have exactly the same date. I was born at 2:10 a.m. He was born at 2:11 p.m., 7 years apart. And just also resonating with your numbers, your 1, 2, 3, for years, I was seeing 11:11 on the clock, on the microwave, on two buses passing each other, on doors, everywhere. And, you know, on the, you name it, I saw it. And I still see it, you know, on all different things. You know, I've come to understand that it is the universe talking to you, that the universe is conscious, that there is a super intelligence that's aware and communicative, and like you said, I do believe that it is the highest part of yourself communicating with yourself, letting you know that you're on the right path. Just lastly, I just want to say, to do with your first book about meditation, I just want to ask you the question about the ancient information that you reference. I don't know what it is that you're referring to. Is it Sanskrit? Can you sum it up in a short time what that ancient information is?
Yeah, you're talking about are you talking about a chapter of my book, or the after meditation I put rare knowledge?
In the title,
meditation plus rare knowledge, right?
Ancient knowledge, yeah.
Well, no, it's the knowledge. I just went over different topics. There's an ancient memory technique that people don't know about, that people use for contests to remember things. If you actually wind up when you think of something, if you actually just think quick, if you encompass your visual, like your the visual part of your brain where you can actually think of like a movie or something happening. You can actually remember these a long sequence of numbers. There's that. I touched on different topics though. It wasn't just that. It's cymatics. I went into cymatics. Water memory. A big thing was water memory for me too. Water has memory, and there's studies on that. And
we're composed of water, right? Sorry, there was something else that occurred to me. And Anna, literally in 1 minute, I'm going to come to you. 1 minute, right? So when you're talking about Osiris and the voice that spoke to you, I wanted to share with you an experience that I had. Two experiences really quickly. One of them was when I was wearing something called a Synchronicity stone, and it's a chrysanthemum stone. It's black and white, and I wore it all day. And I bought it in Glastonbury, and that night I was performing. I'm a singer, and the guy who owned the club I was singing with, his wife turned out to be Sting's secretary. And we started talking about synchronicity, and he's like, I want to introduce you to this guy who owns a studio. And earlier that day, I had been told by somebody completely different, the same name, about somebody that wanted to introduce me to. And Sting, of course, wrote a song and an album called Synchronicity. So there was all of these crazy synchronicities that were happening while I was wearing the Synchronicity stone. The other thing that I wanted to share with you about Osiris was that I had a vision once, and I'd had a lot of whiskey, but this was a really a serious spiritual vision that I had, where 9 huge faces appeared to me while I was meditating. I know whiskey and meditation don't mix, but they did in this case.
Well, they do, it does in a way.
Yeah, well, they call whiskey pure prana in some places. So the Easter Island heads, they looked like that, but they were Thoth. I knew intuitively that they were Thoth. So one by one, 9 of these beings came to me, and they imparted through their third eye to my third eye information that was not words, but just information. And slowly through the years, I've been getting more and more information. So I just wanted to share that, and I felt it was linked with Osiris. So I know that there was a lot there that I threw at you all. However, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, Scott. I feel like we've all got a lot more to talk about, a lot more to share.
Yes, I have a lot.
Before Anna, I hand over to you. Anybody want to just say anything? Hello, doggy there that's just joined us. Anybody want to say anything before we go to Anna? Cool. Okay, let's take a breath. Scott, thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for sharing that with me, and thank you to all your viewers for watching. It's kind of my first podcast, and I love all you guys, and I wish you guys, if I never talk to you again, the best in life, and have a great life.
Likewise. Please come back, and stay for the rest of this session if you want to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you're on Sacred Segments now, so we're a community that are connected.
Love it.
Anna, the floor is yours.
Nice to see another fellow New Yorker.
Yes, hello.
Hey. So, you guys, most of you haven't been on the call before when I was talking about the 7 rays. So here we are talking about numbers all day. So I've been going through the 7 rays of God, which are essentially God in manifestation. The 7, well, they're actually 12 rays, but I'm doing 7. The manifestation of the consciousness, the energy of God brought into form, more or less. And in the past, I talked about the first. I'm just going to quickly go over them because I think it's important. The first ray is red, and it's the ray of will and power. The second ray is blue, which is the ray of love and wisdom. The third ray is yellow, and it's the ray of active intelligence. The fourth ray is green, emerald green, and it's the ray of harmony through conflict. The fifth ray is orange, which is the ray of concrete science. And the sixth ray is indigo, which is the ray of devotion, idealism, and religion. And so today I'm going to be talking about the seventh ray, and I think it has very important special significance for what we're going through right now on the planet, especially these last few days. So, so all of these rays are aspects of God, essentially, and we have all of them. They're archetypal, and we have all of them within us, and we can tap into them for different things. But there are some that are going to be more present in us than others. So the seventh ray, it's the ray of ceremonial order and magic, which sounds really cool, doesn't it? And it's violet. It's the violet ray. And this is the ray of transmutation. So of course it's related to Saint Germain, okay, and the violet flame. It is the ray of the high priest or the high priestess. It is the ray of a community organizer as well. So it's very much about order. Okay, so if you think about ritual, right, when you do magic, whenever you do ceremony, there's an order to things, right? So the seventh ray helps us to integrate heaven and earth, and also to ground spirituality into the physical plane. And it's the ray of form. So a person who is heavily on the seventh ray could be a sculptor, for example. And so somebody who would be a combination of the fourth ray, which is the one related to the artist that I talked about in previous weeks, with the seventh ray would be an amazing, amazing artist. So Leonardo da Vinci would be an example of one. He had a soul ray of 4, which was the one of related to art, a personality ray of 7, a mind ray of 7, an emotional body of 4, and a physical body of 7. So he was really a combination of both. And he really, I think, is an amazing example of this. If someone is on the seventh ray and is unevolved, this person will be very, very superstitious. Someone who's always obsessed with like omens and, you know, their dreams, you know. I mean, of course, all of us here, we love this kind of stuff, but somebody who becomes very, very obsessed with it, like, oh my God, I did this, and that means this is going to happen, you know, taking it to that extreme. But if you're more evolved as a seventh ray type, then this person is very much concerned with doing the right thing, the correct thing, at the right moment, because of the order and the ceremony and so forth. So this person could be very, very good socially. So a seventh ray person, in terms of their spiritual path, they like to follow rules of a practice. Okay. So people who maybe follow Buddhism, for example, and really like to follow, because that has a lot of rules, right? Or Catholicism and so forth. Someone like that could be on the seventh ray. And also someone who likes to work with magic and harness in the elemental forces, that is a seventh ray person as well. So the virtues of the seventh ray are strength, perseverance, courage, courtesy, extreme care in details, and also self-reliance. But of course, there are strengths and there are also weaknesses. The weaknesses of this ray are bigotry, pride, narrowness, superficial judgments, and overindulgence. And to acquire virtues, right, because with each of the rays, you want to acquire as many virtues as possible to be able to express the highest expression of the ray, are the realization of unity. Okay, and I really think that's important right now. Wide-mindedness, tolerance, humility, gentleness, and love. So what I wanted to do, how much time do I have, Alexis?
You have 4 minutes.
Okay. Because this is the ray of the violet flame, right? And it's the ray of unity, tolerance, and so on. What I really would like us to do, if that's okay with everyone, is to send this ray to the Middle East, to the Holy Land right now. Okay. So I'm going to invite everyone to close their eyes. Take a couple of breaths, deep breaths. And just release. And another deep breath and release. And just tune into this violet color. And you might see it pulsating. You might see it as the violet flame. Just tuning into it. And feel it all around you and within you, of you. Because you carry this within you. We carry all of the rays to some degree within us. And now I'd like us to bring our awareness to the Holy Land, where the unity that is the unity of the Christ consciousness and divine love is not present at the moment. So, with your permission, I'm going to ask everyone to just send this beautiful violet ray, violet flame energy to the Holy Land to help transmute all this conflict, all this division, all this old energy, everything that is the opposite of unity, the opposite of tolerance. And just visualize this violet light burning away and transmuting all of that harshness. Everything that is not divine love. And I'm hearing that if we can do this every day, we're all very powerful beings, everybody here in this call and all of us who pursue the spiritual work that we do, and we can make a difference. So you're being invited to send this violet ray and this violet flame. If you want to call in Saint Germain, Master Saint Germain, to assist with this. And I'm feeling very strongly to call in Jesus. And just send unconditional love. And may all that is not of unity be transmuted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. And so, yeah, that is the seventh ray. And it's a very important ray for us to be working with right now.
Thank you so much, Anna. That was beautiful. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to send energy, which is also something I wanted to mention. We're running out of time on this call. However, I want to give you both the opportunity, Maya and Denise, to speak. So unfortunately, I'm going to give you 9 minutes instead of 10, and we're going to go over time. And it's understood if anybody needs to leave, then of course leave. I would love you all to stay. Maya, I'm going to go now to you. Please go ahead. Thank you, Anna. And welcome Greta that's joined us in the interim.
Thank you.
Maya, if you could unmute, please. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Maya, and I'm going to speak about hypnosis and the wonderful things and experiences which can be done and realized through hypnosis. I personally like to hypnotize people. Doesn't really matter where, in trains or in buses or in aeroplanes, wherever I feel the need that there is a person in need, because hypnosis can bring instant change. For example, I was invited to a chef in Norway, and I was very tired when I arrived. And I remember it was football time, and I said, just give me 5 minutes. So it is possible to bring oneself in hypnosis and really completely change the state of being in less than 5 minutes. Actually, it's very, very powerful tool. It talks to the subconscious, and there where the actual issues, beliefs, thought trains, wrong beliefs, barriers, which we would call them, lay, and there in the subconscious, there is a point where the hypnosis can go in and bring changes. Trauma will be reframed. We cannot make the experience go away. The experience is there, still the emotion attached can be changed. The situation can be reframed, so to say, towards the subconscious, so that the attachment will be, the neural connection, will be then interrupted. So the emotion doesn't exist towards that anymore, and it gives freedom of life to the people, because they suffer. Just an example, someone had an accident on a bridge. Now that person is incapable to drive over a bridge because the subconscious brings up a certain behavior in that person, and the person can't drive because of the fear or the phobia, which is like an amplified fear towards a spider, for example, or even a butterfly. I mean, who would have thought that someone can have a phobia for butterflies, and it's existing. And hypnosis, even though the person can say, look, the butterfly doesn't do anything to me, this program is running in the subconscious, and the person it can verbalize on 5% consciousness. It can verbalize, yes, I can understand this animal doesn't do anything, but the subconscious has this set in as an old running program, and it runs and runs and runs until the person goes to hypnosis, to hypnotherapist, and allows the person to go into the subconscious. And we always ask for the permission to do that every time we start, and can bring the changes. So it brings absolutely life quality to the people. And I myself invented this beautiful method where I used the quantum hypnosis, the quantum field, and we had it last time. Alexis asked, how do you explain quantum? It was very interesting, and I thought about it, and actually quantum is everywhere. Just because science has not proven it, why haven't they had a better look into it as of yet? Because I say it would bring out things they don't want us to know, because then it just makes us far more powerful. So they're not really getting their nose into the whole thing. And so quantum is actually everywhere. Where is it not, so to say? And this animal conversations I have developed is this amazing method where I can have verbal conversations with animal, where I also release emotions which are attached to the trauma experience. And when I can do it as humans, I can do it with animals. For me, it doesn't make any difference. And there are misbehaviors, eating underwear or barking all day, or being aggressive towards visitors. These things then afterwards don't persist anymore, because the emotion which was the trigger towards was changed. And the last time I do also in hypnosis with, for example, missing animals. And I met this wonderful man. He is by the police, the Metropolitan Police. And we were talking about these criminal cases where they used the hypnosis. And Carl isn't here today, but he, in one of my other talks, he asked the question, what is with false memory? And that is also why it is not allowed. It's another topic why it is not holding on in front of the court, because they say you can implant, and you can implant false memories. Or as today, the Manchurian candidate, when they have been made to become a Manchurian candidate, hypnosis is used. And in my hypnosis for the animals, even the people afterwards have this post-hypnotic amnesia, where they are incapable to remember the things, all the things, what has happened in the hypnosis. So that is also a reason why it doesn't hold up in front of the court when hypnosis is used to solve a case or to assist in a certain case. So there are wonderful things we can do with hypnosis. We can do with hypnosis with children, hypnosis with adolescents, hypnosis with people who have suicidal thoughts, which are self-harming, and it can be changed. And interestingly enough, imagine this lady, 18 years on antidepressant, and I asked her, when do you actually wait that this is going to start to help you after all these years? And it is just an imbalance of emotions, and then they have hypnotherapy, and it is gone. They don't need the medication. They get on in life. They find their way. They find their soul path, because whoever works with me will not be able to get away from the spirituality which we are all living. Yeah, because they do feel the vibration. Even sometimes they cannot put their finger on it, and still it does affect them. So it is actually with me on all levels, and it brings me joy to change lives for the people, for the animals, and because we all live in this beautiful world, and we need to make our lives better every single day, for each other, with each other, through each other, and with the lights in our hearts. Yes, so that is all I wanted to say today. I have whatever question you have now in regards to hypnosis. Who does hypnosis to? Was it Devon? Was it you? No.
I haven't done hypnosis personally.
Okay.
I don't do hypnosis. However, I did stop smoking many, many years ago with hypnosis, and I've used hypnosis effectively. Yesterday, I watched an amazing film. I'm very interested in UFOs and have been for a very long time. I saw on the back of your book, Scott, what looks like a UFO, which I wanted to ask you about. However, Maya, talking about hypnosis, there was a film that I watched yesterday about the Betty and Barney movie. I don't know if you know about them, but they were abducted, but they didn't have any memory of their abduction.
Okay.
she wrote the star chart. She did a star chart which was completely accurate, which included 2 planets that hadn't been discovered yet. It's on YouTube. This film, it's the whole film is for free on YouTube, and it's called The UFO Incident, and it's about Betty and Barney. And under hypnosis, it was revealed this missing time and this whole incident of their abduction. It's a very old film, but I constantly research UFO cases because I am a UFO experiencer and have seen many. Maya, thank you so much. Denise, I want to give you the time. Just very quickly, before I come to you, Denise, on the back of your book, Scott, is that an ET?
Which book are you referring to? My first book?
Your first book.
Well, when I first started drawing and painting, I was in a weird state. Like you said, I was probably drinking a little bit, maybe, and I wound up painting her, and yeah, she is. I have a memory. I don't know if it's a he or she, but mostly I get a female vibe from her. But she is somewhat of an entity that I feel that I have some type of interaction with, but from far in the past, far like previous this life, kind of something where it's like a small interaction of some sort. But yeah, it is. But when I painted her, I wasn't thinking about her first. So
thank you. There's a question that Devon wrote for Maya, which is the subconscious able to offer permission for hypnosis, or only the conscious thought? If you could answer that, Maya, please.
Yes, I have to get the conscious, day conscious permission from every person I place in hypnosis. So it will be on the conscious level. The decision has been made on the subconscious level anyway before they come, but I need to consciously, because the consciousness is the only part which is analyzing and criticizing and are actually able to stop you from doing this. So they will be conscious about it. It's the conscious decision they have to make in front of me to give me the allowance to bring them in hypnosis. Do they consciously reject and say no? Then I cannot put them in hypnosis because they will block themselves. So yes, it's the conscious thought. And it is done also. I can read service remotely. Yes, I use Skype and soon also Zoom to realize hypnosis session. Is it either for the person or with the person for and with the animal? Yes.
Okay, thank you, Maya. Okay, let's just take a breath. I'm sorry, we're on divine time now. We always were, but even more so. So thank you very much, Maya, for explaining that. I want to remind you all that we can keep in contact on the group Sacred Segments, and you can exchange information and all that. And I want to invite you all back in the future. It's every 2 weeks, same time on a Wednesday. Denise, you have 9 minutes to talk about your work, particularly interested in your method that you developed of going into the body to heal trauma. Please talk about that. Let us know what that is. My camera is going to go off for a second, but I'm here.
Okay. Root source therapy is kind of a combination of healing methods I've learnt for the last sort of 20 years. So I had my spiritual awakening in 2003. So I resonate with Scott because that was due to my brother passing when he was 31, which kind of blasted everything open. And
Sorry to hear that.
that's what, thank you. But I sort of feel like it's part of the path. For me, was for him to go so that I could get onto my path. In fact, he's told me that, so that's what I go for. So the root source therapy, I started off with I started off learning Reiki, so learning about how all the energies are in, how everything feels in the body and the chakra system and all of that kind of thing. But the root source therapy is like quite a quick, effective way to get to the root of the matter, really. So I see people who have very repeated patterns. So like Maya was saying, working with the subconscious mind, but that those repeating patterns, so the people that are living their life according to their subconscious limiting beliefs that have been formed somewhere from trauma. So that could be just an incident of showing your dad your artwork and he wasn't interested, or he said it was a bit rubbish, and then you're like, oh, I can never take criticism from men are horrible to me, or so something like that, just as an example. And I do a process of finding out what people's triggers are, what's going on currently for them, take them into a deep relaxation and ask them where they feel their limiting beliefs, so men can't be trusted or something like that, and like where they feel that in the body. We go into that space. I get them to visualize it and breathe it out, and then we kind of look through that like a looking glass and go back into who that's about and who that's attached to. So usually, they will see a relative pop up, or a friend, or someone who's significant, and so we examine that relationship first, and then we go into the energy of whatever is holding between them, the cords that are connecting them, which takes us into usually an incident from childhood, but it could go anywhere. I've gone into past lives with people. I've gone into working with a lady who had who was very hyper vigilant and couldn't relax or feel safe in her environment, and that took us into her granddad's energy when he was a fighter pilot in the war, and and we kind of went in and healed the ancestral line. So we can kind of go anywhere, really. It can go into like inner child work in this lifetime, or we can go right back into other lifetimes or ancestral patterns. I never really know where it's going to go. So we go. So I'm very interested in ancestral trauma. So often there is a the belief that the person's holding goes back generations, and sometimes we go back right to the root, the real root of like granddad, who had that very genuine feeling of not feeling safe and having to keep alert all of the time, as a fighter pilot. So that's what we do. We go back and we find that, we heal it from that point. So we look at the belief, then I do a healing method where I clear any contracts that they've made across any lifetimes that's kind of held them in those places, and replace it with a positive affirming belief that I might bring through, or I'll ask what they want to bring through. So like the opposing positive belief of that, whatever that might be. I'm safe in the world, it's safe to trust men, whatever it is we're kind of working with. And then I ask them to tell me what colours they can see around them. So they always see a colour, or colours is the new healing, the integration is happening, and what those colours mean to them. And we bring that through, and we bring through the new energy and the integration through every cell in the body. Yeah, that's what it is. in a nutshell.
Denise, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Denise?
I have a question. Is that kind of like core memory work in terms of the core memories are what keep the stronghold and keep cycling over and over, and you're kind of clearing that out?
Yeah, it is the core limiting.
That's awesome.
Beliefs, yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I'm intrigued to learn more. Okay, before we close this session this evening, I would like to just go around the group and say one thing that you're grateful for, and also a power word. Okay, and I will create an affirmation for you out of that power word. So I just can give you a moment to think about that to close this session. But I would like to take the opportunity to ask Devon about your near-death experience. I know that we have a very limited amount of time, but can you just tell us briefly about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically in 2017, I was in and out of the hospital probably about 22 times. I had kidney failure. My kidneys were shutting down. I went septic in the hospital. It was just not going well for me at all. And so I went out and I got some CBD, and I was trying to get off of pain meds and things like that. I had an adverse reaction. CBD is completely fine, and I support it in many, many ways, but I had an adverse reaction, which caused me to have a stroke. And so at that moment, I knew something was wrong. So I just knew something was really wrong. So I called 911. I collapsed before I was even able to finish the call, and I fell down. And the next thing I know, I'm getting up. I'm walking around. I could see my body that was laying on the ground. Colors were brighter than I'd ever seen. I felt so much love, so much compassion, so much safety in this moment than I ever had in my life. Time was almost like being outside of time, but clearly if I'm breathing and observing something, I know I'm inside of time. And so the really cool part about that is that I had only one friend in the whole world, and that was my lab. And she was the only one that I wanted next to me. So I sat down in this chair, ready for what came next. That's all I could feel was something was coming next, and I was excited and I was ready for it. And I called her over, and she saw me because she came over and actually rested her head on my lap where I was sitting in the chair. And I closed my eyes and I was ready for what came next. And that's when the EMTs are now yelling at me, trying to get me to open my eyes, to wake up. I'm on the ground in the exact same place. But through that experience, I received a lot of clarity on things I thought that I believed before that I didn't experience. And ever since that moment, I've been receiving downloads with clarity and teaching and guiding people.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I want to just quickly tell you all about there are many amazing people as part of this group. Not they don't attend every one of them, but Greta, who is here, she came in a short time ago. Does some incredible healing work using 3 or 4 different modalities, and hopefully we'll hear from her in the future. Thank you for being here, Greta. Also Bonnie, who is, I mentioned, also a near-death experiencer. She's a psychic artist. She's a registered nurse and also a herbalist. She's an ET experiencer, ex-flight attendant, an incredible lady. She had a brain injury, but through the time that she's been here, we watched her heal and just be an incredible source of healing and inspiration for so many of us. There's many people, Anna of which has been a staple. She's attended every session. Thank you so much for being here. And I treasure you, I appreciate you. Thank you. And Paul, who isn't here today, but he's a druid and a shaman, and he does incredible healing work as well. He has done lots of inner child work. There's been many amazing guests So I'm just going to go around the group and just ask you to say one thing that you're grateful for and a power word. I'm going to start with you, Anna.
Ooh, okay. One thing I'm grateful for. Does that have to be one word or just one thing? Okay.
Could be one thing.
My ability to stay centered no matter what. And my power word is transmutation.
And your affirmation is, I transmute all that no longer serves me. Thank you, Anna. Devon.
Yeah. So I am absolutely grateful that I have a partner who I'm on this journey with. I see a lot of people who don't have that, so I'm exceptionally grateful for that. And my power word is going to be light.
Beautiful. I live and serve in joy. Is the affirmation that I heard for you. That's beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to read Caitlin's gratitude. I'm grateful to be able to continually meet others on my spiritual journey with such enlightenment and passion for their work and their continued knowledge. This continues to make me feel as though I'm part of such a strong and supportive community, which I on occasion struggled with before my journey. My power word is opportunity. That's so beautiful, Caitlin. Thank you. I'm just going to be silent just for a second and listen for your affirmation. I'm open to new experiences. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Great to meet you, both of you. Denise, something that you're grateful for and your power word.
I'm grateful for my beautiful relationship that I have with my daughter, which feels like it's been hard won. And I just want to mention really briefly that she's called Greta, and she has the same spelling as Coach Greta here, and we don't see that very often. And she's adopted, so we don't know why the spelling is spelt like that, but that just felt like really lovely to see the spelling the same. And my power word is fulfillment.
Thank you. I heard very clearly your affirmation, which is, I am a light.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you. Maya.
Devon and Caitlin, yes, lucky buggers. It's really nice to have a partner, I guess, who is on the same journey where you can talk to and do all these things together. So I'm really happy for you guys. I'm very thankful for my terrace and the gardener who cut the hedge here today, because I had beautiful and funny interactions with them. They made me smile. I can now look at this, and I was painting over some canvases to make them white to start my creativity. And I live outside, I sleep outside. It's really nice. That's I'm really, really thankful for it, because it gives me wonderful experiences every day. And my power word is now.
I heard for you, I transmute all lower frequencies into love.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Maya.
Yeah.
Greta, if you would like to share, then please unmute. Don't feel obliged, but I want to give you the opportunity if you want to. Otherwise, you can write in the chat or stay.
I'm happy to share.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I am really grateful for this journey, this trip I am on, where everything is just aligning so divinely perfectly, and I'm having all these wonderful meetings with beautiful humans. And Anna, if you could please send me a message with the affirmation I get, that would be great. And the spelling is a typical Norwegian spelling when you spell Bretta with a TH. So you can spell it without the H or with the H, but it's a typical Norwegian way of writing it. And thank you for being happy about seeing that name. That not many people have this name, so it's nice. My power word is attract.
Thank you. I heard for you, I swim in the waters of life and I go deep.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you. Scott,
Yes.
something you're grateful for and a power word.
Well, I'm very grateful for every breath I take. Grateful for that. I'm also grateful for the love in my life, be it the ability to experience such powerful love, and like I said, just be here every breath I take. And my word is perspective. Perspective.
I'm listening for the words that come, and I am divine magnificence are the words that came for you. I am divine magnificence.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I
Sweet.
really appreciate your presence today. This was a beautiful session, and an unusual one. I love that dog, and your little girl. She's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yes, she's so cute. I love her so much with all my heart. I don't know
Gorgeous.
what I'd do without her.
Great to see you, everyone. And please don't be a stranger. Stay in touch, and come back. Hope to see you again. I feel like we've got lots more to share.
Yes.
Have a beautiful rest of the day wherever you are, and see you again. I hope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of
Thank you
love.
for having me.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
Bye, everybody.
You too.
Bye. Hey, Scott, I did send you a message. So you know.
Yes. Oh, great. Thank you. I'd love to talk to you more. I look forward
Absolutely.
to it.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.